Now, the Ministry of Interior is proposing mandatory prosecution for all defilement cases, eliminating any room for negotiation or withdrawal. The move follows findings from the newly released Jukwaa la Usalama report on Tuesday. The ministry's decision responds to a documented rise in defilement cases across various regions and calls for coordinated action by law enforcement, community structures, and the wider justice chain. NTV's Rose Wangoi reports.
On November 23rd, NTV aired a special report dubbed Silenced Suffering, which was filmed in Garissa and Wajir counties. Sexual assault on minors remain rampant in northeastern Kenya. Disturbingly, parents are often paid off to drop cases through traditional courts known as maslaha, where male elders act as mediators. Compensation, whether in cash or livestock, allows perpetrators to walk free, while survivors are left without justice or adequate support. The story highlighted harrowing accounts and deep scars survivors of sexual and gender-based violence carry on. For instance, 16-year-old Aisha, not her real name, was defiled by a gang on her way to school. The matter was reported to the police, and the perpetrators were identified and arrested. However, community elders intervened, compelling her and her family to settle the case through maslaha. A payment of 300,000 shillings was negotiated, with half the amount being kept by the elders themselves. This settlement effectively ended the criminal case. While the culprits enjoy freedom, Aisha continues to suffer in silence. She now carries the weight of a lifelong scar. This customary mediation process is widely criticized for effectively silencing survivors and preventing them from seeking for more justice. The Ministry of Interior has directed mandatory prosecution, requiring all sexual offenders to go through the full process of the law, with no room for mediation, withdrawal, or informal settlement.
Ndio hiyo basi Jukwaa la Usalama report.
This is part of the recommendations of the newly released Jukwaa la Usalama report on Tuesday. The report highlights widespread and escalating cases of sexual and gender-based violence affecting children, adolescents, and women nationwide.
Sexual and gender-based violence. It's a big issue in our country, especially defilement. And some of these cases involve the people who are supposed to protect these young children. These are places also we are having gender-based violence, fights, beatings and wife beatings and husband beatings. Mr. President, this is also an issue that we expect your guidance.
Mambo ya gender-based violence. Mesikia kina mama wanapigwa. Nasikia siku hizi wazee pia wanapigwa. So we must work together to make sure that hiyo kazi tunafanya kwa pamoja.
To strengthen the response, the report recommends operationalization of children protection units (CPUs) in every sub-county, establishment of gender desks in all police stations staffed with female trained officers, and intensified crackdowns. Systematic weaknesses also remain a major challenge, including a lack of forensic capacity, delays in government chemist results, inadequate psychosocial support, and limited safe houses for survivors. The National Gender and Equality Commission has welcomed the directive issued by the Ministry of Interior, stressing the urgency of ensuring that every woman and girl can live free from violence and fear. This comes as the world marks the ongoing 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, with calls for global solidarity to end violence against women and girls everywhere. Rose Wangoi, NTV.